It's about time to get started. Yes. Aloha, welcome. Good morning to everybody here on the beautiful Lanai and Cyberland. I'm going to be your facilitator, Jamie, and we have our wonderful presenter today, Dr. Richard Stevens. And we have a miracle musician, our beautiful Jean Love. So I'd like to invite Marjorie to come up and do our reading of Science of Mind.
This says forgive yourself. That's going to be a good reading. So choose every day to forgive yourself. You are human, flawed, and most of all, worthy of love. And my name is Margie. I forgot to do that. But I'm forgiving myself. Nothing is real to us unless we make it real. Nothing can touch us unless we let it touch us. Refuse to have the feelings hurt. Refuse to receive anyone's condemnation. In the independence of your own mentality, believe and feel that you are wonderful. This is not conceit, it is the truth. And that's from Ernest Holmes' The Science of Mind. Often people confess to me that the most difficult person to forgive is themselves. I completely understand that sentiment. I invite us to consider the impact that not forgiving ourselves has on our ability to experience self-love. From an energetic standpoint, our lack of self-forgiveness means we are less present in the moment. Being stuck energetically in the past leaves us feeling weak and powerless. It is as if a part of us is back in the moment of our transgression. Our awareness of who we are and what is possible for us is impacted by our continued sense of our identity as a person who did something so wrong that we can't let it go. From a standpoint of creating our life in each moment, our perception of ourselves and lack of forgiveness has us living in a perception of ourselves as flawed, wrong, and not good enough to love because of our mistakes. This perception is part of the energy of what we attract to us. It will attract more of the same energy to us, and we may even repeat the error we cannot forgive ourselves for. All of this creates an I'm not worthy energy that broadcasts out, and life responds in time. The most impactful and effective forgiveness is an energy that can be completely accountable for what we feel we did wrong. We still choose to see it and learn from it, yet we also extend grace to ourselves and choose to love ourselves. We choose to forgive ourselves. The affirmation is, I'm going to read it and then I think we can get through it all. I choose to forgive myself while being accountable for all of my actions and choices. So let's say it together. I choose to forgive myself while being accountable for all of my actions and choices. Thank you.
Hello, Margie. My mallet disappeared. Oh, wow. Technical difficulties. So, I'm excited to be back on the island, and this is the time where we go in and after hearing motorcycles and planes and trains and automobiles in California, I'm so excited to just be back here. We can tune in, listen to the birds, and I'm actually hearing my own heartbeat. So I'm going to invite us to come and sit in our back, and then we'll have a song by Q.
I think that mic's set up.
Andy. So, hello, hello. Yeah? So, we had a little surprise when we came um, that the music minister didn't make it. So, we just got here and we said, sure, why not? And one of the songs that we do here, and my beautiful sister Diane is here, and maybe the next song we'll figure something else. But because we're here with her husband and son, we're not staying around after. But the song I love for us all to do before we eat, I think you guys know it, is I Am So Blessed. So if you want to join me. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed.
You'll know I'm Jean's sister because we share the same voice. I am lucky in that I do not need a microphone.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay. We can hear you fine, but if Palmer can get the online working correctly, we want the other people to hear you too. And
Okay.
if you're okay to go up there, they'll see who's talking.
Okay, I'll stand up here.
All right.
Here or there?
Either way.
Morning.
Aloha. My name is Tanya. Nice to see everybody again.
I'm Terry. I'm so grateful.
It's good to see Laura, and I'm
I'm Kim.
I'm Glenn.
I'm Anna.
I'm Pasha, and there's like one little group back there that got skipped over.
Whoops. I'm Kathy, and namaste.
I'm going to skip over Palmer doing important work.
Good morning, I'm Don.
I'm feedback.
Good morning, I'm Leah. Deep aloha to you all.
I'm Karen. Assalamu alaikum, it's me, Barka.
Diane. Aloha, I'm Jean.
Good morning, Cindy.
Joe. Good morning, my name is Reagan.
And I'm Jan.
I am Condor, and I'm the other half of.
And I'm Palmer. Aloha.
We're just doing.
Don't mess with me.
Lightning storm.
Welcome, everybody. Jean, up to our microphone for another wonderful song.
When you're put on the spot like this,
Thank you.
On Friday, my partner Kim and I were shocked. Our hen house was hit by a mongoose, so 3 of our 5 hens were slaughtered. And luckily, a neighbor came in and broke it up, so we have 2 survivors. But so we're looking for some pullets. Okay. We're very disappointed.
Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm Laura, and I'm so happy to be here. Oh. I had date night a little over a month ago, and a dear friend that lives on the island said she was just going through a little tender time, and my husband got involved on the conversation, and she babysits my daughter, and he knows her. And at dinner, he's like, why don't you just go to Hawaii? But what? I'm not connected on this. Why is it not speaking? Oh, I'm not going to go to. There we go. The sweet spot is right here. I'm not moving. And go be with her. Go be in Hawaii. Like, really? Yeah. I'll take care of Sierra, my 6-year-old. Thank you. Here I am. So grateful. And he's here this weekend. He's amazing. I'm so happy to be with y'all. It's so good to be back at New Thought Center. So I love you. Thank you. Mwah. Okay. Scares me.
Couple more? I think we have time for a couple more.
Can I try that one?
Yes.
So is it connected? Okay. There's nothing to turn on, right, with this one? No. Okay. All right. Well, I can use my teacher voice. Well, right near the place that we have our mailbox on Mamalohoa Highway, there's this long guardrail. Because it's been so crazy rainy in our part of Kona this year, this plant called philodendron has gone crazy. It's not a plant that we really like very much. I mean, I know all plants have something good about them, but I haven't figured out what it is yet with philodendron. And it was growing on a steep bank. It wasn't really our property, but it kind of made the approach to our property kind of very jungly and not very attractive. Then the state highway crew decided to poison it. So it looked even worse. It was just as overgrown, but now it was partly brown and ugly. But then the miracle. About a week later, we heard this really loud noise. And Rob, my husband Condor, he calls it the dinosaurs. That they're those like giant machines that gobble up plants and rocks and earth, and it might be called a backhoe. I'm not sure, but anyway, it was very big, very loud, and it gobbled up all this ugly philodendron.
So I just have a little poem that I want to share. Oh, nice. So it's called The Presence of You. And it has to do with the presence of the light that's in all of us. And we all have the same journey and the same experiences. So I just wanted to share this with you all. So, a presence of you. Through dusk and through dawn, through laughter and tears, through sunshine and rain, through heartache and fears, you brightened our days and gave light to our nights. You taught us to love when you tended our fights. By our weakness and strength, we learned how to stand as you lifted us high with a firm guiding hand. And as the years have gone by your patience we've grown, as we learn from the harvest of seeds that we've sown. And in the battles to come, your life banner will wave, to be led by its light, hence from harm we'll be saved. And when all darkness is cleared, for love's light shining through, we'll give thanks for our memories of the presence of you. Thank you.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Very beautiful. Okay, now it's time. Maybe we'll just be a little untraditional. I'll stand here. So I'm going to introduce Dr. Richard Stevens. Is an author, a teacher, a hunter, and restorer of ancient trails and planter of native trees. He has taught for over 30 years in the University of Hawaii system, at Pepperdine University, UC Santa Barbara, in Japan, and on Guam. Richard is a former Marine, refugee advisor for the U.S. Agency for Internal Development and Foreign Service officer. He served in both military and civilian roles for 3 years in the Vietnam War, was wounded twice, missing once, and received several Vietnamese medals and the Purple Heart. In addition to his books, he has published articles on Hawaii's forest birds, ancient trails and gardens, Nature and War, Organic Living, Kamehameha and Kohala, the summit log of New Mexico's highest mountain, the Rio Grande Gorge, and Waihula Gray's Lokahi, did I say that right? Lokahi, Unity mural for the North Hawaii Community Hospital. He lives on his in-laws' agroforestry farm in Hawaii, where he describes himself as the volunteer hired man. Let's welcome Dr. Richard Stevens.
Aloha kākou. Are you ready? Yes. Now I want to hear everybody say in unison, yes, we are ready. Yes. So one. Yes, we are ready. Okay, one more time. Are you ready? Yes, we are ready. Are you ready to go far and deep? Deep. Yes, we are ready to go far and deep. One more time. Okay, we try that once more. Are you ready to go far and deep? Are you ready to search history to find ourselves? Yes. We are ready to search history to find ourselves. That was pitiful. No, it was very good. I'll do the New Thought applause for all of you. I'd like to start off with a few moments of silent pule, silent prayer. Few moments of meditation, if you would just segue from your silent pule into the meditation, and then I'll say a few words to bring us back. And I would like to suggest that in your silent pule that you started off saying pule for something that you're grateful for. The reason I'm asking us all to start off with a similar something is that I believe when when we are all pulaying about gratitude, we are generating this tremendous wave of gratitude that we are sending out, and that it is going to come back to us in the same way that we are pushing it out there into the world. So a few moments of silent pule, please. Mahalo e kia kua, mahalo e ka aina, mahalo e ka po e ka hiko. Thanks to God, thanks to the land, thanks to the ancient people, and thanks to all of you folks here for doing what you do and for inviting me to come and share these moments with you. So come back now from where you just went, and we will begin a journey of finding ourselves in history. I'm going to do this as an artifact show. Just recently at school, I got the idea, and it's a very old one, I think. Pasha will attest to this, of using things to tell a story. Say, rather than the images of a PowerPoint presentation, for example. So it's looking to the past for something to inspire us and take us forward into the present. And by having a theme like finding ourselves in history, and what does that mean? I think life is really a process of pretty much always finding ourselves. You can think about finding yourselves in the different phases of life, the different ages of life, the different people that are in our lives, the different places that we spend our life in. All of it is a process of continual change. And so finding oneself in those various phases seems to be like one of the main things that we do in this life, and especially if you are a searcher like all of you are by being here. So finding yourself in history, I am a teacher of history, and so I know just how vast and complex history is. In order to deal with it, you have to take it and compress it into a nice ball, something that you can hold on to and play with, because otherwise it is just too daunting. So what I'm going to present you with here in this artifact show is the 5 great phases of Hawaii's history, and they will end up by bringing us all into it, into this moment. So the 5 great phases of Hawaii's history, interestingly, they are the same for every place in the world, and I will refer to this as we go through. But whatever place or places that you come from and have spent your lifetime in, it is true for those places as well as it is for this focus on Hawaii. So we begin, and I invite you at any point during the trip that we're going to take now into time to ask any questions, make any comments that you would like. So we're going to start here. This is the tableau on which history will write itself. First of all, we have to get the stage for the great dramas to happen in. In Hawaii, of course, that's the ocean. So this, I want you to imagine, is the Pacific Ocean before Hawaii appears, and especially before the big island here appears. We will search for it. We will let this seashell remind us that this is the ocean here. So about 500,000 to 700,000 years ago, Kohala Mountain, off to the north of us here, rises. This is a Vietnamese rice straw hat. Just about every farm person in Vietnam wears one of these. And so this is going to symbolize for us Kohala mountain rising from the sea. And we can let it become now all of the islands of the Hawaiian chain. We want to get the whole Hawaiian scene on here. This is phase 1, formation of the land. Let me hear you say that. Formation of the land. Phase 1, anywhere you look. Somewhat different if you come originally from Iowa like I do. It was the coming and going of ancient seas that formed the state of Iowa now. But at any rate, wherever you are, whatever the forces of nature were that brought forth land, that brought forth this first phase, that first phase of history is formation of the land. And when you think how important that is here in Hawaii, it determined where all of the many ecosystems of Hawaii would go. For example, all the way from Kohala down to Ka'u, here on the leeward side of the island, the lowland tropical dry forest. I'll return to that theme later because we now have at our campus an 832-acre forest preserve, which captures and preserves probably the best remnant in the whole state of this lowland dry forest that came into being because of its placing on this formation of the land. So here we are, formation of the land. What is phase number 2? The coming of life. So we will let this little wili tree here symbolize the amazing coming of life to this rock that rises in the middle of the ocean. Just try to imagine this process of how an island rising from the bottom of the sea in rock, pure rock, becomes clothed with all the varieties of green that we have here, the many species of native, endemic, found nowhere else in the world, species like the wili tree, the most special tree in my book in the lowland dry forest. So how in the world did this happen that seeds and spores managed to come here to this new rock in the middle of the ocean and not only establish themselves as life, but become something different? What are the processes? Let's let this little duck here. This is a Koloa maoli. That means native duck. It's very similar to the mallard duck. It is an endangered bird now, but we will take it back to the time when it first arrived here as another species from its home country, but then becomes something unique by coming to a unique place. The way that the green life comes here, the 3 W's, wind, waves, and wings. So wind blowing seeds from distant lands, huge storms that pick up seeds in one place and drop them down on our rock in the middle of the ocean. Waves that bring other seeds that float here from 2,000, 4,000 miles away and become established. And then birds that begin flying here, and in their wings and their digestive systems, they are bringing seeds too, and they are adding to the green. And this amazing green, again, I will say, this is miraculous, how so many of these things change into unique species found nowhere else in the world, and that is true with the duck. The Koloa maoli, the native duck, becomes a new species. So this is phase 2, the coming of life. Everybody, let me hear you say it. The coming of life. Coming of life. It's vibrant. It's powerful. We are here because of it. We can nourish ourselves because If any of you went to school here, I'll bet you have seen this. Priscilla, you might recognize it. Number 3 in the great phases of Hawaii's history, and remember this is true for any place in the world. Number 3, what would you think this phase is? The coming of humans. So the coming of man, woman, and child. Again, a miraculous journey from some distant place. People arriving here, beginning a whole new life in a new place, bringing with them more green and a few animals from their distant lands, establishing themselves here and creating what Captain Cook and his people found when they came here, probably the most beautiful and bountiful agricultural system in the world. Before you go today, just take a look at this. This is an incredible work of art here. Let me just show it around to everybody. This is something that shows just how, let's get a little closer here, how the Hawaiians sculpted and engineered the land, including the very land that we're on right here, into this amazing system to produce at such a bountiful way that is called by people like Cook and his crew that have been around the world the most beautiful and bountiful system anywhere in the world. Very much agroforestry, as we are practicing today, as the new and old way of dealing with the land. So we got these 3 phases. Let me hear you say this again. Formation of the land. Coming of life. Coming of humans. And again, think of wherever you're from, wherever you grew up, the same thing happening there. The first people of Canada, indigenous people of all over North America and South America. Same thing in Europe, the first people moving into a land that was nature only until the humans arrived. So here are the Hawaiians then, developing their culture. Population growing, starting out along the streams, then eventually spreading over here to the dry side, establishing here in Kona, what's called the Kona Field System. We are in it right now. In Kohala, the Kohala Field System, these immense agricultural endeavors that nourished a population of maybe as high as 800,000 or 1 million people when Cook came here. So these first greening of the land then becomes humans working with the land and with those native plants and the ones that they brought then to create this amazing system. When you look at this, notice there's even a holua slide that's pictured here. So this is not just all work. This is showing the many aspects of Hawaiian life here in this agricultural village. So we got 3 of the big 5 phases of history now. So I want to get a little bit more bird life in here. So in those birds that came here, as well as the native duck, you have the whole range of gorgeous forest birds. The yellow here symbolizes the mamo and the o'o bird. 2 birds that had radiant yellow feathers. Not a lot of them, but a few, enough to make them gorgeous birds. The red is the iiwi, still with us up in the forest, electric red. In the coming of humans here, then these become very important, these 2 colors, these 2 birds, for the feathers of the Ali'i's capes. The I'iwi again, providing the red, the yellow from the Mamo and the O'o. So this rich bird life interacting with the human life. The colors here then can also symbolize something in the phase number 3, in that we can think of this as the Ali'i, the people who are at the top of society and pretty much running everything. So we have Hawaiian culture here then, dynamic and creative. So what do we have coming next? Next, we will let this hunting knife here symbolize coming of the other. Again, this is a phase that happens all over the world, that there is a point in time when from the outside world, another civilization arrives on the scene. This knife is an especially good symbol of this, because one of the things that interested and excited the Hawaiians the most when Captain Cook was here was metal in its many forms, whether it was nails, knives, or guns. It also is helpful because it symbolizes the dark side of what happens when the other arrives on the scene. But let's get them here now by saying, coming of the other. Let's hear it. The other is a term thought up, I believe, by anthropologists just to describe a completely different world that is arriving here. And one thing that we just will imagine seeing on the blade of this knife here are the invisible visitors that come with the coming of the other. That's the microbes that begin to have their effect on the whole ecosystem here. So you have then these 4 phases. There's formation of the land, coming of life, coming of humans, and coming of the other. In coming of the other, this symbolizes the big change in the agricultural system from this sustainable agriculture to commercial agriculture. The first crop is sandalwood trees. Sandalwood, iliahi trees, hugely numerous all over the islands. When a ship's captain who came not long after Cook realized this, he knew that profit was to be had. And right away, there began a huge business between Kamehameha at the top of the peak here and Ali'i on different islands, beginning to exploit cutting iliahi, cutting sandalwood from the forest, loading up the ships, and sending them off to China, where the Chinese paid big money or things that were desired here. So sandalwood, the first commercial crop. Then here in Kona, oranges. Mr. Greenwell, Henry Nicholas Greenwell, with his growing land empire, sees oranges as the new gold. And for a while, there are thousands of orange trees being raised here, some still here, ancient orange trees. Then along comes coffee, sugar, pineapples. And so by the middle of the 20th century, and we're letting this pineapple stand in here for sugar and coffee, especially the big 3 agricultural commercial crops, occupy thousands of acres on all the major Hawaiian islands. Major part of the Hawaiian economy as we're getting into, say, the 1940s. in drawing people from all over the world. So the cultural, multi-ethnic nature of Hawaii is all part of this, of being able to sustain a system of agriculture which converts this into huge plantations, sugar plantation, pineapple plantation, coffee farms. So commercial agriculture replacing the kind of sustainable agriculture here. Yes?
Can you adjust the position of the tableau so we can see the tabletop?
Oh, yes, sorry. Let's see.
Thank you.
So now, here's some other changes before we get to the last phase here that we have to make. That because of this, of the commercial agriculture, we have to, and other factors, the mamo and the o'o bird, the yellow birds, become extinct. So we have to take them away. Hawaii becomes, and still is, the extinction bird capital of the world. Oh, New Zealand, number 2, but Hawaii, number 1. This book right here will help to tell us that. This book tells and shows many of these birds which became extinct, most of them in the period of the coming of the other. So, also, we're going to have to take away the wili wili tree. It is still with us, but here in Kona, for example, only 5% of that lowland dry forest is left. Throughout the whole state, 95% gone. So we will remove this. The iiwi is still with us. In fact, the most beautiful nature site I've seen in Hawaii, up on Pu'uhuluhulu on the Saddle Road, where the roads go to Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa, I saw hiking up there in a in-bloom mamani tree. Mamani is radiant yellow blossoms covering the tree. There was an iiwi working in the tree. So here's this electric red bird in this radiant yellow tree. There are still wonderful sights like that to be seen. But big changes come as we get near the middle. I could say this is my grandchildren's plane, but it's really mine. So, December 7th, 1941, another arrives, war. The United States enters World War II because of Pearl Harbor. Before that, the country was very much getting involved in World War II. Changed in a moment when the first planes hit Pearl Harbor. Before long, there were as many military people in Hawaii as there were civilians, 400,000 of both. Hawaii, the big base in the Pacific to make the push to continue the Pacific War to its end. And after the war, the effects of it continued because of a lot of the equipment that was left behind. To give you an example, and the impact on the land that it had, is there were a lot of jeeps, there were a lot of trucks that were just left here when the war was over and so much of the military was withdrawn. Also, anchor chains. These were used in Kohala, where I lived for many years, to do what was called chain dragging. And so between two jeeps or two trucks, surplus kind, there would be an anchor chain stretched and rumbling across the landscape in order to prepare it for more sugar plantation. what did that do to this system right here? Erased it. The kind of archaeological treasures lost in something like that. It was like the effects of the war went on in the things of the war that were left here. And so now what we do when we get to phase number 5. So just as a review, what was phase number 1? One more time. Number 2. Number 3. Coming of the other. And number 4. We'll just put it in there with coming of the other. What we're going to do now is jump to the last phase, and that is continuing change. Continuing change. And that's us. So now I would like to have all of you come up here and get on the table. Not even a moment did anyone believe that. I thought there would be a moment of silence first. But, by the way, this idea for the artifact show just came recently, and so you folks are getting this as kind of a test case here. So this has been interesting just to be able to see how effective it can be using things rather than just images. Okay, so now here's where we all get involved. This phase that we're in now is continuing change, and we are the players in it. So then we have to ask ourselves, okay, what kind of change do we want to see here? What is it we can learn from these phases that came before? What is it we can do when we find out that an entire ecosystem has dwindled to only 5% left here in Kona? The lowland dry forest, by the way, had more species in it than the upland wet forest. This fabulously beautiful forest that, as I said, we have a remnant of now just above our campus at Palamanui. And we are partnering with the state to preserve 832 acres of forest preserve. Those you are welcome to come and join us in every second Saturday of the month from 8 to 10 in the morning. So second Saturday of the month, 8 to 10, we have a group gather to gather seeds, plant, clean trails, do things in the forest, get to know what a beautiful remnant of the forest still remains and what we can do to assist, to bring back some of that sustainability that nurtured such a big population here at one time, to heal a lot of the wounds of the land that have occurred with the coming of pretty much the Industrial Revolution in the 1800s, growing all through the 1900s and continuing now. Anything that we can do to assist nature. And what we're finding, we found this at the Veterans Cemetery where we did a reforestation project, that if you just lend a helping hand to nature, for example, pull the fountain grass and protect against the goats, there will be nature regeneration. It's wonderful to see that many of the seeds of these magical plants that got here through magical means are just waiting for the opportunity to live again. I will show you just one more thing. So now I will give you a couple of examples of what I meant earlier about finding yourself in history and then that becoming an energizing force in your life. So, first example here is a gentleman named Marty Allen. He worked for the DOE here for many years till he retired. He moved up to Waikoloa with his wife, Mary Jo. And up at Waikoloa, he saw for the first time a wili wili tree. And like a lot of people, he fell in love with the wili wili tree. It's a magical tree. I'll tell you one Hawaiian saying about it. Pua ka wili wili. Pua, blossom, ka, the wili wili. So, blossom the wili wili, or when the wili wili blossoms. That's the first line. Second line is nanahu, that's bite. Nanahu kamano, the shark bites. When the wili wili blossoms, the shark bites. So here's what that saying is about. In the dry season, the wili wili loses all of its leaves and puts on this show of its blossoms, these beautiful papilionaceous or butterfly-like blossoms. And you see these magnificent trees, many of them with their bark completely golden and covered with flowers with no leaves. In the old days, if you were a Hawaiian and you were coming from Mauka and you're headed down for the shore and you see the wili wili blossoming and you remember the saying, when the wili wili blossoms, the shark bites, you know that it's shark mating season. They mate in the dry season, they're extra aggressive then, so you're going to be careful. It's pure indigenous way of getting information from nature and applying it to life. So when the wili wili blossoms, the shark bites. Like many Hawaiian sayings, it has a kauna, or another saying that's beneath the surface that is often humorous and frequently sexual. So I won't tell you what that is, but if you think you figure it out, you can tell me, and I will say if it sounds good to me. At any rate, when the wili wili blossoms, the shark bites. So all of this was magic to Mr. Marty Allen in his retirement up there, where there are some wili wili trees still growing and are the heart of a project to protect them now. So he thought, I want to do something here. I want to do something to protect these trees. What can it be? At the age of 76, he teaches himself to paint. And he starts painting the wili wili trees that are up there around his place. And he doesn't know what this is going to do, but he just feels called to do this. And maybe this will do something to fulfill this dream he has of wanting to help save the wili wili. He passes away at the age of 88. He was a Korean War veteran, and so he was to be buried in the veteran cemetery. And on the day of his burial, his wife, Mari Jo, was distraught. She felt like she was not going to be able to get through the day. A couple of friends came to pick her up, and she walked out of her house feeling beat down by loss, and she saw that her morning paper had been delivered. Her morning paper, West Hawaii Today, had on the front page this picture of one of our students doing a classic tree hug of a wili wili tree, and the headlines, "Working to Save Wili Wili." And immediately she felt that Marty was there with her and that he was communicating to her, there's something in here that can help to continue my dream. So the story tells all about the class, my class, that this lady was in and what she was doing here, hugging a Willy Willy tree and working as part of our effort to save them. And so she gets in touch with us at school and says, I've got all these paintings here. Is there something we can do? And what we did was something you can just see a bit of a sample of here. I'm going to put out some of these cards and welcome you to take them. At any rate, we saw right away the possibility of using this to be able to raise funds for the protection of our new forest preserve. And when we told the story to our first visitors to come and hear this story, the wonderful lady who heard this story and heard that we had planted a lot of native species, but the goats were hitting all of them except one native species, she said, I'll build your fence. And so right at that moment, Marty's dream had come true, that his work had gone to do something that now has multiplied to an 832-acre forest preserve. And his cards continue to help us do that through the raising of funds. They're really quite charming. I think if you remember back in about the 60s or 50s even, there was Grandma Moses. She became famous as a painter, self-taught grandma lady, and she became probably the most famous painter in the US at one time. And Marty's work is somewhat like that too. But again, it's people finding themselves in history at a moment when they feel called to do something in the face of some of the tremendous losses that we've had and some of the, unfortunately, tremendous harm we have done to this beautiful world. So that is the story of finding yourself in history and of Marty and Mary Jo. Thank you very much. You're welcome to come up and take a look at these things closer before I have to pack them away.
We got about 5 minutes for questions.
Oh, good. Yes, questions. Hi.
Right. Is the entire 832 acres, is that entire thing fenced?
Oh, say that once more.
Is the entire 800 acres fenced?
Oh, I wish it were, yes. But that is the number one priority that we have presented to the state, that must happen if we are to save it. Because right now, the goats, you can really see this happening. They are preventing regeneration by eating everything that comes up. And so what's there, if it isn't protected, when those trees die, that forest will be gone. So this is the message that we constantly feed into the system to get them to act. And now they are acting. They've hired a planning company from Honolulu. We've just had biological and archaeological surveys. Now we're talking to the local politicians to get the funds needed to fence a huge acreage. So that's definitely what has to be done.
Paraphrase the question so the online people know what.
Oh, okay, yes. So you had a question here?
Yeah, how many species of birds have been lost?
I believe it's over 90. This book can tell you that. In fact, I think on the first page it shows a table showing Hawaii at the top, and then New Zealand, and then the Mascarene Islands, and all the way down to other places where extinctions have happened. And I think it's at least 90 in Hawaii, maybe more. Someone over here?
Yeah, so you said every Saturday you're gathering in the forest. Like how do we get information for that?
Yes, you can come to the campus, to Palamanui campus, just above the airport. And if you're there at 8 o'clock, then there will be others of us there already. We have a few moments of protocol, and then we go into the forest. So you'd be most welcome.
Old airport right here?
No, this is, it's just above the new airport, the international airport.
Okay, Which Saturday?
Palamanui campus, so just look that up on
This coming Saturday?
the second Saturday of the month. So yeah, this is the second Saturday coming up now.
Are you talking about the Kona Cloud Sanctuary for the forest? Is that?
No, that's up in Kaloko. That's the upland wet forest. This is the forest that's down at lower elevations and much drier elevations, so it's called the lowland dry forest. This is the name of its ecosystem. Yes?
Can you just, this field system, the Hawaiian term for the field system, Ahupua'a, so that is what it was called.
Yeah, it's the Ahupua'a system, so this is a great depiction of it right here to show that within this system is everything needed for life. And extends from the forest up here to offshore. And you can see how the stream has been diverted to create Tero Lo'i here. And the various kinds of plants that are being grown in different parts of the forest. Here in Kona, there's what's called the Kaulu'ulu, the ulu zone, the breadfruit zone. More than 30 miles of breadfruit trees, so a planted forest of breadfruit trees that extends pretty much from above the Veterans Cemetery, which is just 4 miles north of the airport, at elevations especially good for breadfruit, all the way into South Kona. And many of us who live on farms in that old zone have old breadfruit trees that Kamehameha himself would have eaten from. So it's the Ahupua'a system. Now there's 2 other words that have come to describe the larger aspect of these systems. Is this one is narrow, and so there'll be many, many, many of them along the coast. But the bigger system, the whole system, Kona Field System and Kohala Field System, to give the idea of just how much land the Hawaiians had under cultivation. Anybody else?
Just a quick question about your artwork here. What is this and who did this piece of art?
You know, I think there is the name of an artist down here, but this appeared maybe about 20 years ago, I think, in pretty much every classroom, I think, in the state. And I'm wondering if Pasha could, was this in your classroom at all?
Well, no, because I was teaching a variety of languages, but I've seen it. Isn't there something similar connected with Kaloko Honokahau Park, like on their entry?
It could be the same thing, because this has been multiplied so many times that you do find it in many places. And this, I brought this from our campus. Yeah, no, it's amazing. The work that went into this, the research to get it right, and then the detail to show the many ways that the Hawaiians were using the land here. It's quite striking.
Was this system more prevalent on the east side of the island because of the water source and less on this side?
Certainly more where streams ran, and that's where population first settled and became large. Not only the east side, but Kohala has its running streams too. So when you had population begin and expand in those areas, and then as it got too great for those areas, the movement around to the drier side, and that's when the Kohala field system came into existence, and then the Kona field system with new ways of agriculture. So instead of having perennial streams to operate from, it's a different way of doing things. The really classic book about this is Native Planters of Old Hawaii, Their Life, Lore, and Environment. And it tells almost any place you live, there will be a description in there of the kind of agriculture that was practiced in your place. And it's remarkable, the agricultural practices. You see why Cook and his men were so struck by this. One of his lieutenants, Lieutenant James King, was taken up to Kohala to look at things, and he described Kohala as one vast garden. And that's the feeling you get about this too. It's like this vast garden. It's inspirational to see what was here. It's inspirational to think how life was able to come across an ocean and establish itself and then change into something absolutely new. And when you take all of that kind of inspiration and the kind of inspiration you can get then from the early human presence here and build it into your own being and think, heed the call, like Marty Allen did. Juanita Thompson, the lady in this picture here, she said, when she saw me write on the whiteboard the first day of class, needed team to help rescue Willy Willy. She describes here in this article about, I thought, what is a Willy Willy and why do they need rescuing? I want to find out about this. She finds out about it. She falls in love with them. Her picture gets put on the paper and it communicates from the other world to this world, a lady going off to bury her husband. It's truly marvelous. It's the kind of folk thing that you folks deal with every week in your meetings here. It's magical. It's the law of attraction. It's dreaming and bringing them into reality. And it's an honor to come here and share this with you. I thank Pasha and all of you folks for giving that opportunity.
Big applause. Beautiful presentation. Thank you. I'm really visual, so I really enjoy all the props. It really helps to tell the story. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yes.
It's very special.
Thank you.
Thank you. So now's our time to pass the offertory bowl, and I'd like to invite Jean if she's open to put some beautiful words into it, whatever you have to offer.
Am I on? Okay.
Love. Pass that around.
So this is a song we used to sing at the end of church. I know some of you know it, so if you know it, please join it, and I'm hoping it totally comes back to me. Talk about in the moment. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. As God as our Father, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And we are all wanting to make this a better world. And I know each and every one of us here is doing what we can to make it a better world. And we just follow our guidance and listen to wise beings like you. And we come together and teach the children to love, and we'll be okay.
Okay, so it's time for our announcements, but before New Thought shares theirs, Dr. Richard Stevens, do you have any announcements that you'd like to make? You made one about the Saturdays. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share? Something,
just to
class.
emphasize that we would love to see there's all kinds of jobs, from the real easy to physically vigorous. So come if you can and just check out what's going on. I think you'll find it fascinating and rewarding to know that we have right here in Kona the most significant remnant of this awesome lowland dry forest in the whole state. So come and help us make it even better.
Thank you. That sounds wonderful. All right, so coming up at New Thought Center of Hawaii, Sunday services, 10 a.m. in person at the center and by live stream. Video on YouTube after. And we do have free childcare reservation by Friday, please. For the next 3 Sundays, 9/7, our own Momi Nobriga, Peace in Every Step, Walking with Divinity, and music by Joe Conti. On 9/14, Laura Chavez Weintraub, The Sacred Pause, a mystical exploration of spiritual timing, inner alignment, and the power of surrender. Music by Dick Franklin. And then on 9/21, we have Star Joyce for that time of year already, fall equinox. Drumming starts at 9:45. Pasha, do you know if we're invited to bring drums if we have them? Yes. Okay, bring drums if you got them. Weekly classes, Mondays, 4:30 to 5:30 p.m. We have Jin An Wong, Tai Chi Qigong, $15 per class or $48 per month. And advanced students are welcome to come at 4 for the long form. Wednesdays, 4:30 to 5:30, we have hula with Mahina, all levels in the Hanua room, right here behind me. $15 per lesson, discounted monthly rate available. And for our monthly events, we have the end of month potluck, and today we have one right after service. All are welcome. It's one of my favorite Sundays. It's food. Coming together, blessing it. And then we have Crystal Bowl meditation, 9 to 9:30 a.m. on the second Sunday. The next one will be on 9/14. And a healing meditation for the earth, third Thursday at 3:33. The next one is on 9/18. Special events. Today, Sunday, 8:31, Tanya Rangalova, I hope I said her last name right, Reiki share from 1:30 to 2:30 on the lanai, $20 suggested donation. And on Sunday, 9/14, Laura Chavez Weintraub, Aligned with the Divine, a soul reset when life feels uncertain, 1 to 3 p.m. in the Hanoa room for $40. We have invitations, membership. Are you a member of New Thought Center of Hawaii? If not, you're invited to join. New members will be recognized at the end of September. And we have forms over here on the round table on my right. and you're more than welcome to sign that. I also wanted to give thanks to Patty for these beautiful extra lays. She had family visiting. So she's been our lay minister for many, many, many years, and I've been honored to step up and do lays with her, and we're always looking for more. So if you're curious about making lays, we invite you to come make lays with us. Also, we have prayers. You're invited to submit prayer requests to the New Thoughts Center prayer ministry. Written requests in the wooden Honu box on Sundays. There's this beautiful Honu over here on the long table by the flowers, and you're welcome to put your prayers in there. You can also email requests at other times, and they pray on that. And that has been a miracle box for me for the past 2 years, or whenever we started it. Thank you, and I'd like to say that concludes our presentation for today, and to invite us all to join hands and sing Hawaii Aloha.
Lovely. You have a nice voice. Come on.